What's going on, YouTube modeling community? Pappy here at West Georgia Rides and Customs. Happy New Year to everyone. This is going to be my first video of the year. Hitting it off on a good start. Been doing a lot of work on this old 67 Corvette coupe. This is the Revell kit that just recently came back out. It's an awesome kit. And if you haven't built it, or if you're going to try to build this one, get a hold of it. Man, it's got all kind of nice details in it. A lot of parts. Not a big high count parts count, but it's just got a lot of the detail that Revell kits are known for. So if you haven't got it, get it. It gets a build it either stock, or if you're going to go crazy like I'm going with it with a Pro Street, do that. Speaking of Pro Street, my buddy Dylan over at NYS Modeling, when he was here during Acme, Dylan's been doing a lot of designing and 3D printing as far as stuff that he likes to print and everything. He designed and printed out the back half and the four-link suspension that's going up under this. When he was here, he asked me, he said, "Pappy, would you try this out? Let me know how it works out for you." I said, "Dylan, be honored to." So this is going to be the first Pro Street build of the year, and I just decided, well, not right now is as good a time as any to see how it works out. So far, so good. I can do nothing but just speak praises of how well this his Pro Street kit, as far as the back half and the four-link, is working out. So we'll get later. I'll show y'all that a little bit later, but let's get cracking on what all I've got done so far on it. So far, since I started on this, I've got everything to fit real nicely. As you can tell, I've started doing a lot of the detail painting on this. So we've got a lot of the small suspension pieces right here. All this is pretty much, I've painted it, got it spray painted. We're just going to have to detail it. Got the radiator and the radiator core support painted up. I'm doing all the, as far as in the engine bay, all this is going to be a gloss black. And it was kind of a trial. I wanted to see it's going to be a show car. So basically what I did was I spray painted everything underneath it with a NATO black. That's going to be the fender wells. But inside on the fender wells, I spray painted it a gloss black, Tamiya gloss black, and then I came back with some of the Mr. Hobby super clear. And I tell you what, this stuff is my next go-to. If I can't find TS13, I'm going to go with the Mr. Hobby Clear. This stuff really is sprayed down, leveled out perfectly, and buffed out very well. So the inner fender wells, the firewall, and what else? The radiator core support were all sprayed with that. And I think that's going to make the inside of that engine bay look really nice. We've got the engine all painted up and everything. Went with the this is a Chevrolet Hugger Orange for the block, and just aluminum for the back half of this. Now I got to hit that with some detail wash later on. Did the same with the heads and the whole 9 yards. The exhaust manifolds, that's another thing. We'll get these stained up and kind of get them washed up a little bit with some washes. This is part of Dylan's four-link suspension that comes with his back half. It builds up great. The only thing that I did differently was I put some shock towers in the back of it. So we've got that. Got the upper control on, or the upper four-link parts suspension on it. I ain't got the bottoms on. That's it. But builds up real nicely. I got it to everything measured out, fit perfectly. And we got the back half's already glued into the frame. But the only thing I'm going to have to do here is I will build a set of coilovers that I normally build, and be putting them in there as well, part of that rear, to kind of make that rear suspension pop a little bit. Interior color, we're going with I think this is, let me grab the can. This is AS19. This is intermediate blue. U.S. Navy used this. So it's a flat, so this is what I'm going with on the interior. I've got the seats, the door panels, and the dash all sprayed out with that right now. I'll be coming back later and doing a two-tone on these seats. That'll be a grayish color on the inside of or where the bottom of the seats are at, where you would sit. And then I'll do maybe a two-tone on the door panels as well. Uh, in exterior color, I've been kind of experimenting around. I took a test spoon, did a test spoon this week while it's been warm enough to actually spray. I like this color. I'm going to do some later experimentation this week, probably today or tomorrow. I'm going to take another test spoon. There's another color I want to try out, but this is I did the gray primer first over the spoon to cover up the black. Then I hit it with the Tester's diamond. What do you call it? I ain't got it out. Yeah, I do. No, I don't. I got diamond dust. That's what it was. It's the Tester's lacquer diamond dust. Sprayed that first. Then I came back with the clear blue Tamiya. Did 3 light coats over that, and it just, I mean, you can tell. Then once all that cured out, I come back with 3 coats of the TS13 and let it set, let it a day, probably cure a day. Then I came back and buffed it out, and I think that's pretty close to what I want. I'm going to try another color that I'm going to experiment with on a different spoon later today, and we'll see how that turns out, and then I'll compare the two. But I really like how it's got a lot of metal flake popping through. That's what, not a lot of metal flake, but you can tell it's got metallic in it. So we're going to try that. We're going to see what happens with that, and we're going to go from there. Let me set that to the side. I've changed the direction as far as the engine. We're still going to be using the 427 block that came in the kit. The only thing different that I'm going to change is I'm not going to put a blower on it. Reason being, this hood, and I had a conversation with someone on YouTube, either it might have been on a direct message or it might have been during a chat. We were talking about I was going to have to cut a hole through the hood of this. It's a beautiful hood. I love these 427 hoods that came on these 67s. It's but I didn't want to take away from the look of that hood by just cutting a hole. I would have to come way back here, and then the blower belt and all that would impede through where the opening for that scoop. I didn't want to do that. I did it earlier on a CUDA build that I did, but that CUDA hood was a lot. The scoop was a little bit longer, so it was okay to do that. But these are short hoods, and the blower belt and the all that would actually come past the opening right here. So I don't want to do that. This hood, it's a beautiful hood, so I'm not going to do anything with a blower. I had actually already there's the piece as far as the blower where it sits at on the manifold for that. And I'd already chromed up and sprayed the blower itself. So I just, what I'm going to be doing instead, it'll just be a regular 427 engine. Of course, and like I said earlier, I'll be using some of the pre-wired distributor from ProTech, the Concours model accessories. Also, I'm going to be using a different air cleaner, which this is a ProTech as well. This is just an Edelbrock style, and it's very similar to the air cleaner that comes in the Revell kit. Just looks a lot more presentable than that little chunk of plastic. And I like the chrome that's on this. It's a lot better than a lot of the kits that I build, but this looks much better. It looks more authentic. And then rounding that out, what I'll be doing with the engine also is I'll be using some of the parts by Parks. Turned aluminum pulleys. This is the 9011 set. This is actually the difference between set 1, set 2. They all come with as far as the crank pulley, it's a single groove pulley. Or let's see what else. Yeah, it's a single groove pulley, and then you got a double pulley for where the water pump, or you can use that one right there. So this is what we're going to be using to dress that up, and then we'll be finishing that engine off with some of the ProTech hoses and stuff that I like using in the fittings. But the build is moving along very nicely. I tell you what, might as well just let me go ahead. I'm going to try to. I got it setting. Let me see if I can hold this thing down on the assembly block. That's where we're at right now with the stance. Everything just fits so nicely now. I finished up the tires and the wheels, got them detail painted this weekend, and everything is sitting on its own as far as that's going to be pretty much the stance that it sits at right now. So everything's looking good right there. Hopefully, we're going to get the body into some paint this weekend or this week. Today's Monday. I go back to work tomorrow for 4 days, so I'll get a little bit of build time. Weather down here in the south, it's very nice. It's matter of fact, it was nearly 80 degrees yesterday. A week ago, we were you'd thought we were in the Arctic. It was it was actually 9 degrees the week before that. So you know what they always say about the weather in the South. If you don't like it, wait, it'll change because that's the God's honest truth. But yeah, it's supposed to be in the around the 50s and 60s this week, so I may get a lot more painting done on this. Definitely on the interior, but we'll lay down some some paint on that body here pretty soon. Just want to do the test spoon on this different color blue that I'm going to be trying and see how it turns out. Still got some interior pieces. Interior. Still got to do the interior pan, but as you can tell, I got some other things lined up to spray paint today. So we'll get that done today, hopefully. Anyhow, hope this finds everyone well. I hope everybody's hit the benches running for 2023. I definitely have, and looking forward to many, many more builds for this year. And we'll keep you posted on this old 67 Corvette. Remember, folks, what I always say, if you can dream it, build it. God bless y'all. Pappy out of here.